Hey, crypto heads, it's the Gooz, and we're back with an amazing episode. Did you know that with a little meditation and a little guidance from somebody who's very gifted, you can go back and actually revisit alien experiences? And that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode of the Cryptic Paranormal Show. Here we go. Hey, crypto heads, we're back. It's the Cryptic Paranormal Show with another awesome, hopefully entertaining episode for you. Super excited to have with me today Mama Mary Bassett, one of my greatest friends in the field. And we got some interesting stuff to talk about here. So we're just going to get into it. First of all, though, I always like to ask all of my guests what their origin story is. I know you're a psychic medium. You have all this like laundry list of amazing gifts that you help people with. And one, getting to know you and kind of watching and being a part of some of the events that you're at. One of them is about alien regression and also DNA reactivation. How did that get started for you? Like where did this all begin?
To be honest, the regression work started out simply with Dolores Cannon. And it started out just reading her books. If you've ever heard her name, start with The Convoluted Universe. It will blow your mind.
Really? Okay.
Because it always fascinated me that she could do thousands and thousands of regressions on different people, and they all say the same thing. And so what really started pulling me into regression work with ET experiencers was when I read her book, The Custodians. And that is all extraterrestrial experiencers with so many different layers and levels and information. And so I was intrigued. And then people started approaching me and asking me if I do hypnosis. And we all know how the spiritual world works. Your guides are going to start sending you hints of where you need to go.
Right.
I kind of ignored it because the class was extremely expensive. So about 2 months of people approaching me and asking me, I finally told my guides, hey, if you want me to do this work, you have to find a way to get me to pay for it, because $1,200 for one class, that's too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I did an event, and it was the first time I'd ever done an event. And it was only like 20 minutes from my house. And I ended up making $2,000 that weekend.
Wow. Awesome.
So
that's amazing.
I bought the class. And it so happened that when I bought the class, it was a Black Friday sale. So I got $300 off. So perfect.
Deal. Ding.
And
awesome.
Like probably about a month after I had taken the class and I was certified, Bill Konkoleski of the Michigan MUFON, he reached out to me and asked me if I'd be willing to do regression work for MUFON. And I kind of just took off from there, because that was the whole point of what I wanted to do, was to help people walk through them, because I fully believe that any experiencer, it's not just a contact experience, it's a spiritual experience too. It's an evolution. It's an evolution thing. It's a part of your destiny. It's a part of who you are. And with the blessing of regression work, you can actually delve in to figure out what the connection is, because there's always a connection to what your purpose is here.
Oh, sure.
What that connection is, so you can find the answers and move forward towards that connection instead of doing circles around it. There's always answers out there. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, like in my case, I didn't really know I needed answers. I thought I had the answers already. I thought it was one thing and it had turned out to be much more. But, and we're going to get into that. But before that, can you like just kind of like walk us through what a regression is exactly? Some people might not have heard about it or of it.
A regression is really just a glorified guided meditation. The first part of the process is just getting you relaxed and grounded and into a safe space where you actually feel comfortable. And then the regression part of it is really just taking somebody through an experience, a memory, or maybe a dream that they had that kind of just threw them off and they want to know what the dream is. Anything they want to explore. It doesn't even have to be an ET experience. I've worked with paranormal people who like to do regression work to get their answers on paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
After you go through that experience, you go into a deeper trance-like state. And then we ask questions. We ask questions of what the purpose of the experience was, or whatever the kind of questions the person has. And really all that it is taking you from, that beta phase where you're just kind of relaxed into the theta, where you to a deep trance-like state. And it's almost like a sleep state where you're allowed to just get out of your own way and in a relaxed, safe place, answer questions. And you'd be really surprised at how much your subconscious mind remembers versus your conscious mind, who's always there working with the ego, trying to protect you so you can just do your day, right?
Yeah, right.
But relax, it really is just a glorified guided meditation. With people are always a little afraid of it, and through the whole process, they are in complete control through the whole thing. It's not one of those things where you get into a situation and you say things that you shouldn't say, because there's a lot of people who are afraid to like talk about things they're not ready to talk about. It doesn't work that way. If you're not supposed to talk about it, and if it doesn't have anything to do with your healing journey or the questions you have, it doesn't come up. Everybody's always in complete control over their regression.
And the whole point of it, from speaking to you about regression, there's really no, whatever comes is what's supposed to come. Like whatever you say while you're under regression, that's the whole point of it. Like hearing things come from your subconscious that you didn't understand when it happened to you while you're awake.
Yeah.
Like there's no wrong answer.
Nope, and you'll always surprise yourself.
Yeah. The one thing I thought was strange, the one thing I was worried about was like, what if it's just me making shit up? Like, but what I didn't understand is how deep of a sleep state you're in. Like, I don't remember anything I had told you when I was when it was over, which I thought was crazy. And you told me like when you wake up, you should feel like you had just taken a really nice nap, and you should feel like energetic. And I felt all those things. It was pretty amazing. The energy. There's a lot of energy work I feel like that goes into it.
It does. And that's where like the quantum healing part comes in for me. Where, other regressionists might not do that. They might just go through the experience. But that's why I like tapping into the subconscious, because you can actually do a lot of healing work. Being able to cut cords with that experience, or finding where somebody holds that energy in their body and helping them release it during the subconscious part, because they're so deep. It's so easy to facilitate somebody to heal themselves. People would be really surprised at how much you can heal on your own without any facilitation.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, since then, every once in a while when I'm feeling super stressed, I kind of like go through your steps and just kind of get myself into that relaxing kind of subconscious state where I'm not asking myself questions, obviously, but I'm like, it's a deep meditation and it feels amazing.
It does feel good. I love meditation.
Yeah.
It is so good for the soul.
Yeah. It's crazy the things the world of paranormal has brought me to. I started with the ghosts and, having the experiences as a child in a home. And you just through talking to people and learning and just progressing at how it's all connected. Like and that's kind of what the point of the regression was. Like everything is connected in this weird kind of serendipitous way where it's just, it's there's a reason behind it. It's
Mhm.
crazy. It's
Well,
crazy because go ahead.
that's because it's all supernatural.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I enjoy the paranormal now just talking to people more than I did like trying to like get out every weekend, spend a bunch of money, and go into haunted places. It's just I get to sit here do this at home. I get to talk to amazing people like you, and it's awesome. I learned so much, and I learned a lot about myself in this regression. So
It was a really
let's
good regression.
yeah, it was definitely when I listening back to it several times, I'm like, I can't believe I was even saying this stuff because you don't remember.
No.
You're in that state and I'm hearing you, but I don't know what I'm saying. So it was interesting. So yeah, with Mama Mary, I we had met. Oh geez, several events ago where I got to sit next to her table at a Pottergraphs event, and
Mhm.
we were goofing with each other. It was her, I guess her bad luck. She got stuck next to me, but no, we knew each other on Facebook and through social media and stuff before that too. We were all kind of in the same circle. But just watching her, I got super interested in what she was doing with the regressions. And I'm like, there was always one experience, what the big main experience that I had growing up that never I just kind of pointed right at ghosts because there was other weird stuff that's been was happening in my house growing up that I think definitely was more of a spiritual type of communication or activity, whatever you want to call it. But the big one, the big experience I had was something that never kind of felt like it was like ghosts visiting me. It was a different type of thing. And I only had so much information when I first spoke to you about it. Like I gave you the very basics, which is all that I had remembered. And I'm like, I don't what do you think? Is it ghosts visiting me? Is it possibly cuz we were at Michigan UFO Contact and it's like when I really started questioning my experience. Like really like maybe this was a weird thing because I've always had a connection to the sky, watching for things. Big sci-fi nerd wanting to be with a bunch of different alien races and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh, let's set this up. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do a regression and get into this and see what happened. And wow, we got in some weird stuff. I mean, some cool, interesting conversations. So walk us through the beginning of the process and kind of how we got into this.
Well, in terms of your experiences or the regression itself?
Let's talk about the regression itself and get into the regression because I can't wait to share this with people. I know a lot of people feel like it's something that's should be private between you and the regressionist or whoever you're talking to, but I love sharing this stuff with people. I think people need to know about this. So I want to share my regression and I want to let's get into it.
All right. So for this first one, um, it really is your whole regression fascinated me because it falls in line with the exact same type of experiences of lifelong experiences of experiencers. So with
Okay.
this first one, if I remember correctly, you had just come back from college because you were like 18 or 19 years
Yeah.
old.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
you were laying in bed, and then all of a sudden the ET beings were around you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yep. I woke up and like I said before, I couldn't explain it. I felt like I'd just seen ghosts or something. I didn't know, but getting into this regression, we start finding it out. Yeah, it was you hit the nail on the head with the 18. I would just come back from college and staying in my brother's room because he had already taken my room over, and that's when it all went down.
They're probably coming after him.
Yeah, maybe, and I was the lucky guy, so they stuck with me. All right. So, let's see. Well, so you took me through the process of getting down in deep into that kind of subconscious meditative state, and you started
Mm-hmm.
asking me some questions.
No? Yep, at this part is where we start walking you through the experience so you can actually see what's going on and
Right.
what happened versus just what your memory told you
Right.
happened.
All right. Let's listen to that. Do you want to play it on my end? Yeah, I'll play this on my end here. Sarah, feel free to edit that part out. Oh,
So we're there now. Look around for me and describe what you see for me.
I open my eyes. I feel a slight pain between my eyes. I look down. I could see the light from the bathroom coming from across the hallway. And then I see my feet at the end of the bed. It's very hard to move. Not quite paralyzed, but I can't really move.
Why
There's
is that hard for you to move?
I feel like there's like an energy holding me down, like something pressing down on me. But I don't feel the pressure from the bed on my back. It was almost like I feel like I was floating. It looked like I was floating. Had myself on mute. This is better. So yeah, I mean, all right, like right from the beginning, once you started asking me these questions, I was responding with things that I don't even remember. Like it's crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah, and so you're saying like, from your standpoint, this is what a lot of experiencers go through, like when the first memories.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember how Bill Konkolesky described it. He was always worried when there was only two.
Oh, really?
If there was two, he knew there was going to be contact or that he was going to be going somewhere. If there was three, and I could have had this backwards, and if there was three, then he knew they were just visiting.
Oh,
type thing.
interesting.
So that's one thing right there that stands out. And then I've definitely done regressions of young men or men who regress back to when they were younger, and they wake up with beings around their bed, and even ones that involve their siblings and their brothers. So this is you have a wonderful experience that is so rich with every aspect of what somebody would need to listen to trigger something so that they want to get answers. It's all classic because it's been going on since you were very, very young.
Yeah. Yeah, and another interesting thing about the rooms and my brother and everything was when I was at home before I had left for college. I mean, almost several years before that, actually. I would be sleeping and I'd wake up and my brother would be like half under my bed, sleeping on the floor with like his blanket and a pillow. Now that alone would scare the shit out of me because I'd get up to go to use the restroom in the middle of the night and there's his body on the floor. But something was scaring him. He couldn't stay in his room. something about in his room. I don't know if he was seeing ghosts, or for maybe it was, you know, somebody trying to contact him and he just didn't understand it and it scared him. Obviously, I mean, he's 5 years younger than me, so I'm if you know, if I'm looking at like I was 12 years old, you know, he's only, you know, 6 or 7, so it's obviously it was a scary situation for him. But that's interesting, and I didn't make that connection until just now. So that's really cool.
You know, because what I find is often these type of experiences are generational. They don't just land with one family member. There's always other family members who have had some kind of experience, and you know, back generations. I've done regression work with people that once we tap into the subconscious has said, oh, this goes back to the father, the grandfather, and great grandfather. It's all things that they've agreed to do. You know, because that's another thing. It's, well, you signed up for this. There's a lot of people who get, you know, ticked off because in the subconscious mind, the extraterrestrials are telling them, well, you signed up for this. You agreed to this. And our conscious mind is saying, no, I didn't, because I don't remember. And again, that's what goes back to the regression work. Why it's so important is there's a lot of people who are angry about their experiences. They're angry because they got taken, and their memory is them laying on a table and being assaulted. Right.
Right.
So through regression work, being able to find those answers and find some peace is a whole hell of a lot better than being pissed off for the rest of your life, saying, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You know,
right.
The regression work, you might still get that answer that you signed up for this, but you're going to get more background as to why you signed up for it. You know, it's no different than our, you know, being told that we picked our journey. Our soul has picked our lessons already. And that's kind of a bullshit answer, right? When you've gone through something, you've gone through a loss, and you're like, why would I pick this for myself?
Right.
Well, because your soul level and your ego level are two different things. Your extraterrestrial and starseed self and your ego are two different things. So your starseed self has signed up to have contact. And the regression work will show you why. It helps you give you peace and find your power and find your voice. Yeah. And that's what you're doing because you're sharing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really exciting for me. And hearing it again, having this conversation, it's telling me we gotta get another session going. But that's coming. That's coming. Because I got to get to, I'm, you know, maybe not the bottom of it, but continue to work with it and
you get more answers.
Yeah.
It's sort of like working with your spirit guides.
Right.
And asking for guidance and them showing you direction. It's no different. It's just a different avenue. A different way of talking to them and tapping in. And actually sometimes a more direct answer, because you actually get an answer back versus waiting for a sign.
Right. Right. And it was an amazing experience. So I remember, you know, as we're going along, just kind of in the initial contact, we're talking about, you know, what I was seeing, describing the beings. I know one of the big things was the floating thing. Is that normal? I know I was talking about like it felt like I was elevated.
It is not abnormal. I was actually doing a regression with somebody yesterday, and they were describing an experience where they were laying in their bed and younger years, just like you, and they could tell that their whole bed got lifted up. Like they were above the extraterrestrials that were in the room with them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, and because if you're thinking about it, they can do anything they want. They could put overlays. For all you know, you weren't even in your room. You could have very well been on a craft, right? And they could have just given you the overlay to make you think that you were there so that you don't freak out, so they can make contact, whether it's to make an adjustment to your energy just to see how you're doing or to give you downloads. Most extraterrestrial contact, the majority of it, not all of it, the majority of it is always there to help us. It's always there for evolution, to help us
Yeah.
remember who we are, to activate our gifts. We were not meant here to come and walk asleep.
Right.
We were here to come and walk as a 12-strand DNA template, our godlike self. And
Yeah.
a lot of beings out there are just trying to help us get to that state. Because when we do, then nothing can stop us energetically. We completely and utterly will raise up to that 5D consciousness and be able to join the rest of the collective that we don't even see. We're not allowed to, because we're so vibrationally low as a collective that we can't even get to that frequency. But that's the frequency we're moving to, the heart love frequency. And that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
I feel like when I connect with them and I can feel them coming through me, that's what they want me. That's what they want me to show. Just like the mantis beings. It's all love vibration. And that's where we're going. More people are going to start remembering their contact. More people are going to start noticing it and feeling it. Just like at Ascension Con, the walkers are going to be there. I've already, in many different ways, have been shown that they are going to be walking among us at Ascension Con.
That's amazing.
Everything's amping up for a reason. If you're having weird dreams, if you're having weird flashes of memory, get a regression. Or even if you don't want to do a regression, do some guided meditations to try to find your own answers first.
Yeah.
Always try to find your own answers first.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a facilitator, but you can do it on your own too.
Right. No, it's definitely good to have a facilitator. I would suggest that, but yeah, you can do it on your own. And I've been trying, and the hardest part for me is I try to journal it after I do it, and the memory isn't quite. I need to I have all this equipment, this audio equipment. I should just start recording myself, but
you could journal while you're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Like free writing, just kind of let it flow through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. This is why I love you. You give me all these amazing ideas.
That's what they show me a lot of, right? If you're thinking about it, like realistically, I'm an automatic writer, and that's my niche, right? When I go out as a trance medium, nobody automatic writes. So it's kind of silly for me to encourage people to automatic write because it's taken my niche. But what I'm telling you, I'm a firm believer that light should not be held behind a basket. And what they show me is if people would automatic write, they will talk to them. They will come through if you automatic write. And it's what they've been they're giving me chills all over. It's what they have been pushing me to tell people, automatic write. You know, people ask me, well, how can you meditate for somebody and still be conscious and be able to write, right? To be able to automatically write. And everybody is capable of doing it. All you have to do is try. The more we awaken up to our God consciousness and our 12th strand DNA, the more all these things come naturally. The telepathic, that's natural. Psychic gifts, everybody has them. Medium gifts, not a big deal. Everybody's supposed to be doing it. This is what we're waking up to, right? Is everybody seeing that they are capable of doing this. And the more you raise your vibration, the easier it is to connect with those beings that are trying to guide us and help us. I see them as spirit guides.
Okay.
And the more you decide to meditate, the more you decide to do regression work and reach out to them and explore and show that you're ready for that communication, the more they're going to communicate. And they're just giving me chills all over my whole body. Like that's exactly what they want people to hear is take the time to reach out and communicate. Do the CE5. Sit in the circle and take the time to call them in because they will show you that they are there. The last time I did it with Deb and we were on the USS Edson. And I shit you not, that was the first time I'd ever had like real actual evidence because I looked straight up and I saw this orange triangle. It was like a boomerang craft just shoot out and then shoot up. And I'm like, there it is. Because they knew that I would actually need to see something, not just like lights. I'd have to see something.
Yeah.
It's there. And they're just right on the edge of that veil. All we have to do is raise our frequency just enough so we can reach through. And they will grab onto us and communicate.
Yeah. And that was another thing
so
too.
Sorry.
That was another thing. Oh, you're fine. That was another thing too, was watching you and Deb and all our Michigan UFO peeps out there doing the CE5 experiment. And for those of you that may not know what a CE5 experiment is, it's basically a collective consciousness experiment, communication. It's communication of the fifth kind. It's like a telepathic communication. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because there's like they label all the encounters. We've all heard of encounters of the third kind. That's basically physically seeing and interacting with the craft or being. And it goes a bit like fifth kind is when you're telepathically communicating to them. They can communicate back to you. They can show themselves to you because you were communicating with them. It's an amazing thing. And although I didn't have a circle around me, it was just one of those nights where it was a beautiful sky, mostly clear. It was really quiet in my neighborhood that night, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna throw out some intentions. I'm gonna be just gonna meditate a little bit, throw out some energy, and see what I get back. And I was being very welcoming. I'm like, and it's from the bottom of my heart. I'm like, I just need some affirmation that I have some connection to the family that's out there. And I'm looking around, and it was just so weird because it was a clear sky, but one kind of cloud just slowly floating through the middle of the sky. I look up, and there's this like punched hole, like just in the middle of the cloud, which doesn't make sense because everybody's like, oh, it's an airplane. Airplanes don't punch holes in the clouds. They'll separate around the cloud, but then reform on the other side of them. It was just weird. So it was there long enough. I was able to take a picture of it, and when I zoomed in, it was a very angular, almost triangle shaped shadow that you could see. Like, it was very symmetrical. There was some cloud in front of it, but it looked like it had opened up the cloud just enough and just long enough for me to be able to see it. And it hung there for a little while. And then it finally the cloud seemed to even stop, which was the weird thing. Like, it was moving at a pretty good clip across the sky. And then when that happened, it just seemed to stop for a minute. And that was like the icing on the cake. And I had to start looking into this more. And then I was sitting there, and I immediately texted Deb, and I texted, she's like, well, you got to show this to Andrea Perrin. I'm like, okay. And Andrea was like immediately back on texting with me. And I'm just like, okay, we got to get into this. So, yeah, it's an amazing experience. And Andrea was like showing me all these other spots in the sky that I was missing, apparently. She's like, well, look at this one and look at that one. I'm like, okay. I thought the big one in the cloud was amazing, but there's a bunch of them apparently out there. So, and they're always there, just waiting for that chance to talk.
If anybody knows, Andrea knows.
Yeah.
She is so tuned in. Tuned in that, like, yeah. Because she always does the CE5. She's going to be at the UFO Con this year. I'm excited. We were lucky enough to have her last year. She's going to be back this year. So
yeah, that's amazing. I don't think I'll be able to. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to make it to this one this year. But I was so happy that she was there last year and that I got to be a part of that. And it was an amazing time. Even if you don't have that big experiences that you're looking for, the energy is so amazing there, and it's worth it just to be there with those people. And
the building itself, it has its whole, like, I swear, you walk into that hotel and it's like you're walking into a different portal. The elevator never works right. Ever. And you walk and you can feel it, like there's a part of you that's like, okay, where the hell is it going to take me? Am I going to get off at the right floor or in the right building?
Yeah. Or like right timeline. You're just like waiting to walk out. And you're like the roaring 20s. Yeah. It's a cool building. And there was somebody playing the theremin up on the roof, like outside, so you could hear it. So like the atmosphere was just perfect for it. It was just an amazing time. I loved every minute of it.
I love that theremin. Yes.
So I'm going to play the next clip here. This is just kind of me getting more. I think it's probably just me more observing. Kind of, we're talking about the light, which was an interesting subject. I'm not sure if that's what this clip
Yeah.
is. We'll play it and then we will talk about it.
All right.
I feel I see spots around the room that would normally be I would be lower with. I feel like I'm higher than the bed
Okay.
by the way I'm looking around, but I can't move my head a lot. I can see from the corners of my eyes and only up.
What's the pain in your forehead coming from?
It's very centralized, like something entering and exiting my forehead, like energy.
Can you
Not
see anything around you that would be causing it?
no. I I keep getting two different point of view. I'm looking up and I can see it looks like shadows of two people. I can't see facial I can't see details of their face, just the outer shape of their heads and shoulders. But I keep seeing down on me like I was on the ceiling looking down or I almost feel like I'm the one looking down on myself. Like I'm one of them or I don't know. It goes back and forth. I look up and see them. I look down and I see myself.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is on the count of three, we're going to move into the second view where you're looking down on yourself. And with that, there's going to be light and you'll be able to see clearly what those two shadows are. Then I want you to tell me what you see. On the count of three, we're going to be there. 1, 2, 3. What do you see?
We're not going to tell you what I see.
That's the suspense.
Yeah. So yeah, that is actually where, and like watching you and Deb and RJ and everybody on your show kind of analyze things. That's where things got really weird and kind of interesting. The point of view thing, like jumping back and forth, like seeing them through my eyes, seeing me through their eyes, which was really strange. And then there were points where I'm like an out of body experience looking at both of us interacting. It's like, whoa, what was that? Is that something that's normal too in these regressions, or was that? I mean, what do you think that was?
That was actually a first for me. Where you feel like you're watching down on them as if you're one of them. So yeah. Obviously for me, the first take on that, right, is they're there because you're a starseed and you're a part of them. But I also feel like experiences for experiencers have changed drastically from, if you think back to the 50s and the 60s, where it was people remembering being taken onto the craft. And that's where I've seen a huge difference between my regression work is between people who are exploring experience from 30 years ago to an experience that is maybe 10 to 20 years ago, right?
Right.
I feel like as we have evolved, so has the collectiveness of extraterrestrials, where They might not necessarily need to do anything physical anymore, right? They can pull your consciousness up from your body, because everybody astral travels and works with your consciousness. So hear me out. I'm going to try to blow your mind a little bit. Maybe in that regression work, you are being shown your own evolution. On one aspect, you're being shown the 3D expression of what you experienced, right?
Right.
But since on a spiritual level, you have evolved in your regression work, you are also shown who you are on a conscious soul level, separated from the body, because the body is not who we are. Who are you on a soul level? In that regression, they pulled you out to show you who you were on a soul level. What is your essence without your body? And who were you?
Wow. Yeah, mind blown.
What did you say? Because you said it in the clip.
Yeah.
Who were you when you were no longer in your body? You were one of them.
Yeah.
And I just got chills. That's the biggest thing they want you to know, is that it's not just the experience. What's the spiritual message that we're trying to show you? Because if people don't remember who they are as an essence, they're going to just continue living their life through survival mode. And that's where we're moving to with Ascension and with all this evolution and into 5D, is not the physical body. It's not that we're leaving our physical bodies, but who are we as an essence, as a collective? And there's so many different species out there in the supernatural. And I would even draw Bigfoot into that. Like, that
was going to be a question eventually. So and
maybe I was just reading it for you. But if I fully see and know, and I shouldn't say that because I don't do Bigfoot. He's there to show us the interdimensional possibilities that we are all capable of. We're all capable of opening up portals.
I believe that.
What happens when we remember who we are on a soul level and know that we can open up those portals and control them? What if we remember so powerfully who we are on the soul level? We know for a fact, I know for a fact, because I do it all the time, that we can choose the timelines that we want. What would happen to all those politicians who want power over us if the collective realizes they can say, you know what? I'm interdimensional and I picked that timeline and that's where I'm going and nothing is going to keep me from it. And I honestly feel like all these experiences, whether we think we've seen, Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman, UFOs, a ghost, they're all there to show us exactly what our essence is. We're limited by our bodies. But when they pull you out in a regression and show you that your consciousness and who you are on an essence level, that's powerful. That's the way I feel like that's what they were showing you. Was who are we on a conscious level? Because as soon as we remember that as a collective, nothing will hold us back. As a person, as soon as we remember that we are essence and nothing here is a physical limitation unless we choose it to be, we're unstoppable. As a human race, as a starseed race, we are unstoppable. We just have to remember who we are. And that's the era that we're moving into. That's the message that the Mantis beings and the Palladians want us to have, is to remember who we are. And you are already in that lane. It's what they're showing me is like, they're telling me it feels like it's stalled right now. It feels like they had this big experience and now you're just kind of waiting. You're like, I hear you saying, well, what's next? You keep on asking, what's next? There's a male being. He's like, he keeps on asking, what's next? They're going to show you what's next. It's just not time yet. They're showing me a timeline of 6 months. 6 months, and you're going to see what's next. And it's not going to be, they're like, don't even plan. They're like, don't even try to plan on anything because we already know how that works. Don't. I don't know why they said that.
Yeah.
Like,
because they know I'm a planner. I got to have plans.
What they're showing me is like, you can plan all you want. This is going to be something that's placed in your lap, and you're going to be like, you're going to have the attitude like, oh, okay, so here it is. And then you're just going to go with it, and you're going to just pick up and go like it's absolutely nothing. All these little trial and errors that you're doing right now, they're saying it's a part of the process. Don't worry about it. It feels like wheels are spinning. They're supposed to, because if they're not really spinning, they are gaining momentum. And they're showing me that, you remember those little Matchbox cars that you could rub back like really a bunch of times and they would shoot off and go really fast on their own? That's what they're showing me with you. Like,
well, that's interesting because I collected those and I loved those things. I still have some.
They are definitely here and talking to you. Like they're saying, don't worry about the problem because it's already solved.
Okay.
In about 6 months, you're going to have something placed in your lap. It will be an opportunity, an offer, mainstream. I'm hearing mainstream. So like, you will understand as soon as it hits your lap why everything else was just spinning.
Okay. I'll just be open to it. I won't try to force it.
It's all about trusting the process and trusting that you are a starseed.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's something.
They're going to line you up. They're lining up all the players, all the people who will listen to them. It's the only reason they talk to me is because I will listen. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So they're lining up all of the people, all their players that are going to be able to help people move into that next level. You're one of them. You have a voice. People are going to listen to your voice. They're getting ready to activate you. The activation is going to start in about 3 months. After that 3 months, you're going to see little plot twists and little things line up for you. And on that 6-month timeline, you will step into a different role.
Okay. I'll trust the process and let it roll.
Mm-hmm. That's all you can do.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw the canoe in the river and see where it takes me.
It's much easier to go through life like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Than trying to fight against the current. It just makes you sick.
Yeah, it does. I'm just like, even just like things like scheduling the show, like interviews. I'm horrible at it. And then, I always forget other things that come up, and, I just try to force things. And it's, I know better. Like,
the worse it gets.
Yeah. Cause like this interview with you, how many times have we had to like reschedule it for technical reasons or whatever? It just
schedules.
Yeah. But hey, maybe it was meant to happen today because you got that message today and I was meant to hear it today, or, whatever.
That is exactly the way it works. And I don't want to name drop, so I don't want to say who I was having the meeting with. But sometimes it comes through like with weird things. So I'm having a meeting with this person, and we're planning for Ascension Con.
Okay.
We're talking about the Bigfoot hunt and like what we have going. And everybody else didn't show up for the meeting. It was just this one person, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Like everybody had the link. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But this person asked me, well, you keep on talking about the walkers and you keep on saying they told you. Who are you talking about? Then all of a sudden they just burst right through my mouth and started talking. I have no idea. I still don't have any idea of what I said. Yeah. But sometimes it just burst. And what they show me is the more people who are willing to reach out and connect, just like you do, the more they're going to come forward and communicate like that. I don't feel like this is special. I think everybody's supposed to.
Right.
Everybody's supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I completely, I don't even know how to continue with my sentence there, because it's you nailed it. It's right on. It's whatever. It's supposed to happen this way. I completely agree with that. So, and sharing the story, I think is important. I'm going to play another clip here real quick, and it'll be a surprise because I can't remember what order everything is in, but I do remember the conversations. So We'll just listen instead of me trying to set it up. We'll just listen to it and see where we're at. But this is getting really good. I love this. Me looking up, but not directly at me. I see a red spot of light beaming down onto my forehead and in between my eyes. I look like I'm a few inches above my bed. I'm not floating high in the air, but I see my hands in front of me as I'm looking down. I hear like a whispering, but I can't understand it from whatever's standing next to me. But we never make eye contact. We're always looking down.
What do you mean by we never make eye contact? We're always looking down.
It's whatever I'm standing next to, we don't look at each other while this talking is happening, or this low whisper. But I can hear it. Okay, so now we have the light. We have the light. But all of a sudden, I'm standing next to them, seeming to be part of this process. And it's like, okay, I'm one of them. And we're staring at me doing whatever we're doing. And, you know, we went through this too at Pottergraphs. We kind of, we were trying to play a game and the technology wasn't working.
It did not work at all. It was awful.
So we just, so you pull me up. It was supposed to be like a guessing game. They were going to like, somebody's in this room. This is his regret or their regression. But I mean, again, it works the way it was supposed to because we ended up having a great conversation.
It did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, but anyways, yeah, we were talking about the light and I kind of felt like the only way I could describe it is I was part of them looking at me doing some kind of scan or analysis or connection to see like where I am as far as progression, as far as being ready to take the next step. I mean, does that sound feasible?
Yeah. And, you know, quite often too, because I'm still going to have to go through your subconscious part. Because that's where we always ask the questions. And quite often those lights are usually like downloads, information, body scans, you know, like regression work with people who have had asthma. Quite often people who are star seeds will find that through life, they've had like really weird, you know, illnesses, things like asthma, because they can't adjust to the atmosphere, things like stomach issues, like myself, because you can't adjust to the food. You know, I've lost the rest of my weight and I'm down to 120 and I'd like to gain weight back. But what I've learned about my body is there's a lot of food is full of goddamn poison and I am not eating it unless it's fresh and natural. And that's what it's come down to. Like, literally, it's one of the reasons we go through life kind of asleep, I feel, is because we are fed all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even just food, just ideas and everything else. I mean, religion. God, we could go on for days.
Yeah. And so I fully believe that, especially when it's children and teenagers, young adults, they're coming through and doing these scans to recalibrate, to readjust, to make a balance here where there's a deficiency here, just to keep the starseed body functioning. Because, you know, it's really hard to function as a starseed. I feel like it's really important for people who go through anxiety, bipolar disorder, have been, felt like they want to commit suicide, that nobody understands them, like they don't belong anywhere, like they completely speak a different entire language.
Yeah.
More than likely, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them other than they're a star seed and their energy's not from here. So to adjust their spiritual essence with the 3D, it's hard. It's hard to get that frequency to match.
Right. That makes sense.
And so quite often, that's where our contact is coming from. Well, it's scary from us, right? Because our association with a medical table is usually pain.
Sure.
Yeah. So our conscious mind is going to say, I'm laying on a table, something bad happened. And typically regression work is going to show, no, we were just coming to scan your body and recalibrate and find balance. I've even done regression work with people where they have had surgery, but when in their conscious life, they had something wrong that all of a sudden went away. So while contact might have said they took something, how do you know that contact and that surgery wasn't really them fixing something that was already wrong?
Wow.
Perception is reality, and our conscious mind and our ego is there to keep us safe, right? Fear-based, fear. It keeps us in fight or flight mode. It keeps us in the parasympathetic state. It keeps our nervous system ready to just survive. And the regression work, it forces you to get to 0 point, get into a safe space, slow down and get out of survival, and just move through an experience and actually get the answers because your ego has stepped out of the way.
Wow. That makes total sense.
Process. Yes.
It is. It is. All right, so we're gonna let's go to the next clip because it's just it keeps just kind of progressing deeper and deeper into the perception of what's happening in the room.
Describe what whoever's talking looks like.
Kind of dark grayish skin, dark greenish grayish skin. We're both pretty tall. And dark black pupils from what I can see through the corner of my eyes. But white around, like almost like a human eye, but just the pupil, like the inside is all dark. I'm not seeing like a normal nose, like we have almost flat noses. Very, very small slit-like ear.
What I'd like you to do now is ask them what they're doing there.
It's almost like I keep hearing we're just stopping by to say hi. Like they have no purpose other than to just see me. And
ask them then if they're only stopping by to say hi, then why do they have the light on your third eye?
Okay, so what's all this we stuff? I just all of a sudden like it's like the pronouns have changed and I'm one of them. Like I've the Gooz that you all know has checked out at this point and it's crazy.
Oh, you cannot make it up.
No. So suddenly I am one of them. looking at me. Um, the description sounds. I mean, it sounds like what people would consider the go-to race or facial features of what a lot of people would think of as alien. Um, I don't know. Was it ever? Did you guys ever take a vote on what race you think it might have been? What I was experiencing.
For me, it could have been very well Arcturian because you said bluish gray.
Yeah.
And they typically are bluish gray. It could have been grays.
Okay.
For me, I would push more towards Arcturian only because I have formed the opinion that grays are more robots than actual extraterrestrials. I think they're more like drones.
Okay.
They're and are sent to just do a job.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so emotionless. And I think that's why, like, if I see a gray or hear a gray, I'm thinking more negative alien agenda versus collective consciousness contact that's trying to help us evolve. But Arcturians have the long heads and the slit ears and the black eyes and the bluish gray skin.
Interesting. Now,
do you like birds?
What's that?
Do you like birds?
I mean, no, not really. I mean,
well, you might not be an Arcturian then.
I mean, I don't hate birds. I will watch birds, and I think they're fun to watch and they're interesting. But I don't have like a deep love for birds. I mean, I wouldn't keep them as a pet. That's all. I mean,
I have one. He drives me crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The squawking is something that I don't know if I'd be able to deal with. But, so yeah, and in my mind, I can only see certain races like as far as like being able to label them what they are. Like I obviously know what Palladians look like. They're what they call the tall whites or the Nordic. Are the tall whites the same thing as Palladian?
To be honest, I have different opinions on that too. Some people will say yes, but I strongly feel no. Okay. I feel the tall whites are a completely different species than Pleiadians, but maybe get confused. Don't quote me on that. That's just if I'm coming from my psychic interpretation, like if I tap in, my gut tells me no. Like they're two different beings. And I honestly feel, especially from my regression work, that tall whites aren't necessarily nice. I think they come across that projection of white in order to appear safe.
Okay.
And that just actually comes from doing several different regressions with people. When we tap into the subconscious, they say it's a tall white. Don't trust the tall whites.
Interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
So I'm still kind of forming an opinion on that. I'm waiting to see. So far, I really strongly feel that it's two separate species. Okay.
Because I actually interviewed somebody a while ago who had an experience while doing a Mothman. They were at a Mothman festival, and then they were doing like there was a property right outside of where that all went down, and she was contacted by what she thought was a Nordic alien. Because there's a lot of UFO activity around there, and she described it very pale whitish face, long golden hair.
Now that does sound more Pleiadian. So I have strongly heard the connection between the Nordics and the Pleiadians.
Okay.
So I would definitely agree with that. Tall whites, I think, are a different thing.
Gotcha.
I think tall whites actually look like extraterrestrial. I feel like tall whites would look more like a gray.
That's in my mind. That's what I see. Yeah. And the white is only because they emit like some kind of crazy looking energy.
Yep.
To kind of like almost like you said, make us feel like they're angelic.
A false reality.
Yeah.
Those are your fallen angels.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I
Before I
could
ask the
go way
question, that's
deep
what
with a
I
lot
envision.
of weird shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could,
Before,
but I won't go
yeah.
crazy. So
I'll have to look more into the Arcturians. I always felt like I was more like connected to Palladians, but that's only because a lot of people called them Nordic, and I'm Nordic, and I'm
well,
totally
and
connected to water.
I think Pleiadians, I think as star seeds, were all a part of the Pleiades.
Yeah.
From what I've been shown, and I really won't get into that past life, but what I was shown, like for me on a starseed level, a part of me originated in Orion, right?
Okay.
And so during the Galactic Wars with Orion, I tried to escape. I couldn't help all the people escape, but I managed to survive and went to Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's where a lot of star seeds come from.
Okay.
Is in the Palladians, right from the planet of Sirius. And that is where like the seeding of planet Earth comes from. It's from that planet. It's where it started. So the Palladians are responsible. The Sirians are responsible for our seeding. There's a lot of different races. The Arcturians, the Andromedans, they're all in there that have seeded the planet. They're all here helping us. Now, you do have the negative alien agenda. And again, that's where I think the Greys come from. Yeah. And we're really going to see, like, not all reptilians, but a lot of reptilians are on the negative agenda. That's why Putin from Russia, he looks like a reptilian. That's why.
Yeah.
But, the Archons, the negative aliens are there. When the planet was seeded, they also interrupted that process. I forget the term, panspermia. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard the theory that that's what happened with the dinosaurs? Is alien DNA came into the planet and exploded it, and the dinosaurs died off and seeded our planet with different types of species. That's panspermia. I feel like that theory is it's correct in a sense when you think about panspermia and the terms of negative aliens also trying to seed the planet to take our energy. Because if you've ever researched archons, they like to attach their cords to us and live off fear.
Wow. Okay.
So we now live on an earth where every single aspect of our life is filled with things trying to fill us with fear. You have peace, here's a war.
Yeah.
You have food, feel bad for somebody who doesn't. So like where we're moving now is all that panspermia and the negative alien agenda is slowly starting to lose its grip. Yeah. And the more that we allow contact with the positive species and trust them, the more the archons and the negative aliens will lose their grip. The less we'll have of those negative experiences where we do really feel like we are taken and something was taken away from us. That's why the experiences that people are having now are spiritual ones and are helpful ones and evolutionary ones and ones that help you remember or activate your gifts. Because you cannot go through the time warp of an extraterrestrial experience and not come back with one of your gifts activated. It's an absolute must. In order to raise your frequency enough for you to have an experience, it's going to wake up other parts of your body and your gifts, because in order to get to that experience, your frequency has to be high enough. And once a gift is woken up, a lot of times there's no going back, just moving forward, trying to find the answers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do, right? Just trying to find the answers. But
what's
again,
the purpose of it all?
Right. But again, we could try to force it and figure it out all we want. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen.
Exactly it.
Yeah. So
might as well just flow.
Just remember, the research is part of the fun of it, but whatever is reality will show itself, and that's the way it's going to be.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. So this next clip, we're kind of getting towards the end of the initial experience. There was more to the regression, but this is like the kind of the actual like meat and gravy of the whole thing. It's what the regression was about. It's the transition, basically, for me personally, in my journey to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to play this clip real quick and we'll talk about it.
Ask them then if they're only stopping by to say hi, then why do they have the light on your third eye?
I can't put it in. It's like they're like checking up on me, like doing a checkup. Like if I go to the doctor and they run tests, like almost like an X-ray feeling, or like when you get scanned. Like
Can you
just
ask for me if they found anything in that scan?
I can only, these two words come up as not yet. Not
What are they
yet.
looking for in the scan?
I'm seeing like I keep seeing like a circuit board. Um, like if it's ready. Um, there's it's hard. I feel like he's not ready. It's not ready.
So it wasn't ready at that time?
No, it's like a
So basically, were they checking to see if you were ready for certain information?
yes, yeah.
Okay, so what happens next?
They just fade away. I oh the We do look at each other from their point of view. We look at each other and we fade away. And I don't go back to sleep or anything, but I lay there and it's like I sit up and it felt like a weird dream. Like I saw it for real, but it wasn't, and it's kind of like the details go away. Yeah, I'd say that was a really weird dream. Intense. Again, like back and forth with the pronouns and the point of view, trying to answer that question. But yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of agreed it was just like a wellness check. Like, hey, let's see where he's at. See if this dude is ripe for the picking yet, or you know what I'm saying? Like, is he ready?
Well, too, it's and I think that's probably why it was so important to for you to see your consciousness and your essence separated from your
Yeah.
body, was they were, seeing if you were energetically ready for certain information. If we really genuinely think about our lives, even in the 3D, and we think about the last 20 years, how many times have we said to ourselves, man, if I only would have known that?
Oh, all the time, every day.
And it's no different.
Yeah.
On a spiritual level, until we're ready to have that awareness, we're not going to have it.
Right. Makes sense.
It's very simple. And so on the evolutionary process, they're probably still coming back and checking whether you realize it or not to see if you're ready for certain information.
Okay.
I still do it every day. Because I sit in meditation every day, and I still have those moments where all of a sudden something hits me, and I'm like, I do that. Like, I don't understand why I didn't see that though.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a part of the evolutionary process. Your starseed family is there to help you along with that process, and they continue to come back to check to see if you're ready for upgrades. and
Good.
you will be in 6 months.
All right. I won't prepare, as you said. Just let it happen.
It's the best way to be. They show me stuff all the time. They show me stuff of what's coming for me, what to expect, what moves to make. And it's hard. It's hard. It's hard not knowing if it's really going to work out exactly the way they showed me, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
It does every single time. So what they're teaching me, because I'm an Aries, so I don't like to wait. I want immediate results, and I feel like I got to take action. They're teaching me the lesson of trusting the process.
Yeah, it's hard.
Trusting the flow.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to be of service and really be all in our spiritual work, you have to trust the flow. You can't control it. The more you try to control the outcome, the worse it's going to get. The more you try to plan your podcast and make sure it works, the worse it gets. But the more you just go with the flow, it just falls into place and you just do it. It's because that's what they're trying to teach us.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Trust in the universe. The universe is supplying everything we need. All we have to do is readjust our frequency to meet it. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what a lot of extraterrestrials are trying to do, is help us find that frequency so we can meet it.
Yeah. I think that's a good kind of segue into probably the one of the big questions I wanted to ask you was to kind of explain what your DNA the DNA reactivation course is about.
Well, okay, so we'll go back to the example I was using about, seeding the planet, and then archons and negative aliens also doing their own seeding. So we'll start right back there, because that's what DNA activation is all about. So the way I see it is we have to see ourselves as seated in the planet, right? And every time something traumatic happens, something bad happens, every time we go through a stressor, every time we were growing up and there was a conditioning where we spoke out and we were told, you can't do that. All these things have suppressed us. And every time chips away a little piece of our soul, just like the negative aliens want. If they can keep our soul chipped away through this pattern loop of, reoccurring lives and reoccurring trauma that we carry around, right? From all of our other past lives.
Yeah.
The more we go through that, the more we scatter as a planet.
Right.
So what DNA activation actually does, it goes through each of the chakras, not just the 7 chakras like we've been taught. There's actually 12 chakras. It goes through each of those chakras and tunes into that as a specific portal and reaches out into the ethers, reaches out into the supernatural and the universe, and connects with all the other pieces of you that have been scattered in that chakra, and draws it back in and integrates it. So all those pieces of your soul that you've lost a little, whether it's in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, you're starting to draw back and you're starting to integrate. And you do that with each of the chakras. And when I accidentally did it for myself, like my gifts went through the roof. I remember the first reading I did, I was like, what the hell is this? This isn't even going to be right. Because it didn't feel like I normally read. But it was like one of the best readings I had ever given. Wow. And it's because the frequency I was now tuning into is not just the mediumship level. It's not just drawing in spirit and channeling them. It's we're talking angels, and we're talking, the extraterrestrials, the Palladians, the higher frequency, the higher vibration, the 7D frequency, 7D. And everybody is capable of doing that. When it draws it back in, you're remembering who you are on a complete soul level essence. And so when I went through this, I reached out to somebody who was very evolved, and he explained it as age regression. You're taking somebody back before that moment in time where they experienced that first life-changing trauma that changed them forever. By bringing all those pieces back into you, it takes you back to that state and time. That's why they talk about, like, have you ever read about, like, the chosen ones? The chosen ones look younger. They look like they're getting younger. You know, like me, my looks have completely changed. Right? I look like I'm getting younger. My skin has improved. It's not because I'm chosen. I'm not a chosen. And so they give me chills when I say that. It really is a Christ consciousness concept. What it really means is the more you do DNA activation, the farther you could go back, the more you heal your inner person, all the scattered pieces of your soul from even maybe the age of 2 or 3, all those times a piece of you got scattered away in the wind, a piece of you got chipped away. By bringing that all back through DNA activation, you simply just do age regression and go back to who you were meant to be before the trauma. And you end the loop that the negative alien agenda has put in place for us. You stop living that loop of chaos and survival mode. That's the point of DNA activation, is it brings it back into remembrance. It brings you back to who you really were before all the pain. It's remembrance. It's your soul essence.
That makes complete sense.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we'll keep that in mind, because we'll be back for sure and talk again.
And if you want to talk about, just a quick plug, if you want to talk about Christ consciousness, get a hold of Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. Okay. Yeah. I've seen him on your show.
In on that, and he will have so much information for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. He seems like an interesting guy. I've seen him on your show a couple times.
He is so knowledgeable. And I tease him because I know it sounds silly, but when it comes to Christ consciousness, when you talk to Michael Carter, you feel like you're talking to, like, Jesus's cousin or something. You know, he has that essence and that love. He has the love. That's that's cool. Have him on. He won't disappoint you.
All right. Yeah, I'll reach out to him for sure. So speaking of plugging, it's that time of that show where you can, as they say on certain shows, look in that camera, look in that camera, look in that camera, and tell us what you have coming up, because you have a lot. Give us some info where we can find your show and everything else that you do, and let's talk a little about Ascension Con.
Well, if you go to www.mamamarythesacredcode.com, it has all of my information, all the classes that I teach, links to the Sacred Code show, and then links to Ascension Con, because that's what's coming up, and that's huge. The ETs, the Mantis beings, the walkers, they are the main reason why I'm putting on this event. I'm not an organizer, but they showed me. When they showed me all of this, that we were going to need that frequency at this time. And that was going to be important and an important part of the ascension process and moving into 5D. I didn't know that we were going to be going through a war at this time. Right. They showed me it was important to make it free to the public. So there's a lot of events. You can't put on events without charging the public, because you need to put it on. But they showed me that it was essential for people to be able to come in and embrace the frequency and embrace the vibration and embrace the fabulous lineup of speakers.
Yes.
Top of the line speakers. And be able to do it for free. To be able to come there and not have to worry that I'm doing this, so I can't pay this. They can just come. The Ascension Con has built to be as your ascension. And so it comes in layers, right? That layer 1 is just Ascension Con. Come listen to the speakers. Come connect with people and see what unity is all about, and raise your frequency. If you want to step it up a notch, the insider events, those are the extra ones. But that's how you step up your ascension through the layers. So the next layer is your DNA activation, right? The DNA activation is going to open up your field and allow you to absorb even more of the frequencies that are going to be getting submitted into the field by everybody that's there, because everybody's going to be amazing. And then the third level of the ascension is definitely the gallery reading with Dana.
Yeah.
If you've never had a reading with Dana Stricker, she is it.
Yes.
She has so many gifts, right down to being a medical intuitive that comes from extraterrestrial beings.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I've talked to a lot of people, and they're very excited because they know she has the ability to pull in the information and the messages through the other side that people need to heal.
Right.
It's such an important layer. And then the fourth layer, and a very essential layer for the culmination of the whole thing, is the CE5 event. So we're going to do a big group circle and watch the skies. And the exciting part about this is right after that, we're going to do the Bigfoot hunt. And Ronnie LeBlanc's going to be leading the Bigfoot hunt.
Amazing.
And he's going to be there, and we're going to gather a huge circle for the CE5. So it's going to be a circle of the Bigfoot hunters, the Bigfoot group, and the CE5. And we're going to stronghold and raise that vibration as high as we can get it. Because he is determined, just as much as I am, that everybody is going to have an experience.
Yeah.
We know that they are. The She Squatcher. So I'll give you a little side exciting thing. So when I had my experience with the walkers, like this was just a couple of months ago, the band just started coming through. I felt them like step down on my porch, and I was like, what was that? And I was told, we're the walkers. And I'm like, who are the walkers? And they're like skinwalkers, but not the same. We're light. So I reached out to Jen Cruz from the She Squatchers because she's Native American, and it felt more Native Americanish.
Sure.
And so she started channeling for me. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, you're getting ready to start your journey. She goes, you're getting ready to walk, and they're going to walk that journey with you. And Ascension Con's going to be the beginning of that. And they're going to be walking among the crowd.
Wow.
So I had been getting downloads on doing some kind of experiment.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into that experiment. But during that conversation with Jen, she told me this experiment. So you can't make it up, right? You cannot make it up that they've been showing me to do this, but I don't know. I know how to do it, but I need more than just me. And she verbatim told me this experiment. So that's what our opening ceremony is going to be, is doing this experiment. And I think Ronnie, I can't guarantee it, so don't quote me on it, but I think he's bringing certain kind of equipment so that we can actually measure before the experiment as well as after.
That's interesting.
Because we want to show people what changing your frequency can actually really do.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our opening ceremony. We have really cool things. That Bigfoot hunt is going to be definitely one of a kind. Because you can't be having Ronnie LeBlanc lead it, and then Jason Kenzie, the She Squatchers, and then RJ. Literally, they all have their own experiences in their own field. And the She Squatchers, Jason Kenzie and Ronnie, they travel all over the world doing this.
Yes.
So
they're amazing.
They know what they're doing. And as determined as they are to give somebody an experience, it's definitely going to be one of a kind.
Yeah. It sounds amazing. Like mind blowing. So when are the dates?
The date is August 15th. Yep. August 15th from 9 a.m. to the last speaker will be 6 p.m.
Okay.
And let me see if I can go down the line with my memory, but don't quote me on it. So at 9 o'clock,
there's a lot.
We will have the opening ceremony with the She Squatchers. And then at 10 o'clock will be Dale Quigley, and he'll be talking about his spiritual experiences with the paranormal. And then it'll be potographs. And of course, they'll be talking about Murray. Sure. And then at 12 o'clock, it'll be Deb Cobble, and she'll be sharing her ET experiences. She was in Bud Hopkins' book. So huge experiences. And then at 1 o'clock, it'll be Deb and I will be doing a DNA activation, and then also Brian Danhausen will be speaking. And then
Okay.
after Brian will be Brad Blair speaking, and he'll have experiences and clips of paranormal experiences. And then
Okay.
after that will be Heather Taddy, and she is my
Oh,
favorite.
nice.
I
Yes, I love
her.
Heather. I need to get her back on the show too.
She is so, if you ever get a chance to talk to her, she is just an absolutely fabulous human being. You can talk to her and not know her and feel like you've known her forever, because that's how she treats you.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
first time
why she's there. I love her.
Yeah, the first time I met her after we had her on the show, I think it was at Parapsychon at Mansfield, and I talked to her. I'm like, I had said like 3 or 4 words. I'm like, I'm sorry, can I give you a hug? Like, she just has that energy about her. I love her.
She is fabulous.
Yeah.
And at 3 o'clock, Dana will be doing her gallery, and then at 4 o'clock, then we'll have Dustin Perry and Ronnie LeBlanc will be the one finishing off.
Okay.
So
wow, that's quite a topper.
Yep. I'm excited, and more so, like, I'm really trying to set it up so that it's simple, so everybody can just not worry and just have fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds
the
amazing.
location is beautiful. Shelton Park is like stepping back in time.
Is it really?
It's nice. Like, have you ever been to Mackinac City?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
Or Mackinac Island?
No.
It's nostalgic, right? You walk in and it takes you back in time. Okay. It's like you're back in the 1800s.
Oh,
and
nice.
There nothing could drive down there. It's just all these old buildings, historical buildings. Beautiful energy. You can feel it the moment you walk in. You will feel the shift. It's a guarantee.
Okay. Nice. So. Sounds amazing. I'm going to do whatever I can to get up there just to enjoy the day.
No, I hope to see you, because you're a part of that. You're part of that family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not the same. You're not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a part of the group.
Yeah.
So
I will do what I can do to get up there.
Good deal.
And it's nice because it's one day.
It is just one day.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And I used to love the 3-dayers, but man, some of those 3-dayers are really starting to hurt.
They're exhausting. When you have to do it, when you're a part of them, they're exhausting.
Yeah. By day 3, even though it's usually like half a day, I'm like, just don't stop at my table. Just keep walking. And
I don't want to talk no more.
I don't know what else I could talk about really at this point. Which anybody who knows the Gooz knows I could talk. So, but Mary, thank you so much for being on. And first of all, thank you for doing this regression with me. It was an amazing experience, and I will certainly be talking to you about continuing that journey, and diving into things that I may not remember, and hopefully reactivating. And just thank you for doing what you do. It's amazing work, and it's definitely important right now, for sure.
Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me do the regression.
Yeah, it was amazing, and certainly it was a changing point in my thoughts and my actions. It was a big deal. It was a big deal for me, personally. So, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for the future when you're going to be on the show again, as many times as I can get you on. And I hope to see you at Ascension Con.
Oh. I'll see you then.
If you have time, because I know you're going to be busy that day.
I'll make time.
All right. Thank you so much. You know I love you. And Crypto Heads, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back and spook you later, Crypto Heads. Remember, don't be an asshole. Right? Right. We'll see you later.